Hey guys, this is the first in a series of tutorials that I'm going to be putting together for our audiovisual team up in the booth. Today's video is going over setting up a service and basic navigating through the Propresenter software. Further tutorials will include more specific information, but this should just be a general understanding of Propresenter and putting together a set list for a Sunday.
So let's get started. When you first open up Propresenter, here's the icon down here. This is what you're going to see. You will see what is called the audio bin over here on the right. You will see the details of the script in the middle. And then to the left, you'll see a preview screen, the library, all of the different playlists, and the script for the selected playlist. So this week, this is last week, so this week is a new week. So what I'm going to do, the first thing I do is I click on here, make sure it's blue, and then I go up to edit and I hit duplicate. That just gives me all the same documents that I had in my script from the previous week. I'm going to click on it again and I'm going to change the date for the next Sunday. Then I go in and I delete the songs from the previous Sunday. So over here to the right of the playlist is what is called the script. It's kind of your order of service. So I'm going to make sure that what I want is blue. Then I'm just going to hit the delete key on the keyboard. You can also go up to edit and hit delete as well. So I'm going to keep Children's Church. Going to keep that. I'm going to keep Living Hope because that's going to be our prayer song for the sermon series. I'm going to keep the sermon slides, and I'm going to keep, no, I'm not going to keep Lord, I Need You. We're going to do a different prayer song. So what you should have is just kind of your basic template for the service. Announcements with the countdown, the welcome, Children's Church release notice, the prayer song, and the sermon slides. When you come to the middle, like kind of the guts of it, you will see the details of each one of those documents. As you scroll up, you can see all of them there. It expands what is here. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to move this audio bin. Sometimes when you open up Propresenter, it will not be there, but I'm going to get it out of my way for right now. So I'm just going to go up here where all my bins are located. I'm just going to click on audio, and that bin will go away. If I ever want it to come back, I'll just go right back up to here and click audio again, but I don't. But what I do want is my video image bin. So I'm going to need that later on. That's right here, and I can select that, and it will be there for my use. So I'm going to leave that up there because I'm going to need that soon. So what I'm going to do now is find all of my lyrics in the library, and I'm going to click and drag them into my script. So if you're ever unsure of the order of service, you can always open up Google Chrome. Click right here where it says Planning Center. And it should already have my login information saved. And you're going to pick, oh, I put the wrong date on that song. You're going to pick the date for the service you want. That's our teams. I'm going to make sure order is selected. And then that gives me my order of service. Again, I have my song list over here in Chrome. And then I have my document library over here. So I'm just going to start typing. If you would like, you're always welcome to move these things around, resize windows. If you want, it will not let me do that while I'm recording apparently, but you could do that if it makes your life easier, but we're going to make my life harder today. That's okay. Over here. So first song is My Savior, My God. So scroll until you find it. There it is. In the right hand, it's going to pop up a preview of what it looks like. And I'm just going to click and drag it into my script. So as you can see, that's my welcome song right here. Right here is the welcome announcement. So that's the one song I'm going to do. before the welcome and announcement, so I'm going to keep my welcome still here. And this is where Pastor Reagan or Pastor Jay would give welcome and announcements and ask our visitors to fill out a Connect card. So after that, we're going to go into our first song, which over here says Cornerstone. And I'm going to, not do that. I'm going to get out of that. There we go. And make sure I am in Propresenters and do Cornerstone. There we go. So you see sometimes two songs will pop up. That's because this word is in the lyrics of this song. But to make sure you have the right song, you can always go back to Planning Center, and over here is the CCLI number. Every single song has a unique CCLI number. There is no two that are the same. So to make sure you have the right one, you can always copy and paste the CCLI number. So I'm going to do a Command C for copy because I'm on a Mac. And I'm going to do Command V for paste. And it'll just display that one. You'll see this says Song Select, this says Cornerstone in the library. I already have this song in my library, so I'm not going to import it from Song Select. If nothing showed up in my library, I would go ahead and import it from Song Select. So I'm going to click and drag that after my welcome. Okay, next song is King of Kings. Again, we can go ahead and take our CCLI number and Command C for copy, Command V for paste into our library to see we do have King of Kings in our library. So we're going to click and drag that over there. So I'm going to make sure Children's Church is in between the first and second song because I should hopefully remember to dismiss the children for Children's Church. And then I'm going to put sermon slides after my prayer song. The last song is going to be my invitation song. So I'm going to find my CCLA number. I'm going to Command, not Control, or on a Mac, Command C, and then Command V, which I didn't do that. Command C, there we go, and V, there we go. Okay, so I'm just going to click and drag it in. All right. Now, I have my script ready to go. Now I need to review all of my songs and make sure that they're in the right order and that they look good and presentable. So one thing that's really cool about this program is over here it has a flow. So if you click this little, looks kind of like a robot, kind of like a flow chart, you'll see the flow. If you click on the wheel, I am picking the standard arrangement. So this flow is the one that we usually do almost every single week. Every now and then you'll see something that says just master and there won't be anything over here. Always pick standard. So, and then if it's wrong, you can just click and drag and put things in the right spot, or you can just hit the little X next to it to make sure it's in the right order. If you don't know the order, you can always go back to Planning Center and it's underneath Sequence. So I'm going to double check that it says verse 1, verse 1, verse 2, verse 2. PC stands for pre-chorus, so we have a pre-chorus. And then we have two choruses, a verse 3, pre-chorus, pre-chorus, chorus, chorus. I have some extra choruses in there. And I'm wondering if it's... Well, I can't resize this because I just maybe not be able to see the rest of the sequence. So I'm going to click here. Where's my sequence? Oh no, that's right. Okay. So sometimes you'll see that it says chorus twice, and then you'll actually have extra choruses. That's okay. You can leave those up there, or if you want to take them out, you can. Sometimes the way that the lyrics flow are a little different than what is actually there. Or maybe I just repeated it because I felt like it. So that is how you make sure you have the right order. Now I'm going to go down to Cornerstone because as I was importing, I noticed that this font is very basic. And I probably did not pick that font. I probably picked a different font that is no longer on the computer the last time we did it. So we want it to look a little bit better. We don't want it to look like a paper from our English class. We're not doing Arial or Times New Roman font. We want a nice font. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and get rid of this video image bin so I can see all of it. So the flow looks right. See, there's 2 lines or 1 line on each slide, so I feel like that is fine. So there's 2 ways we can do this. We can go into editor and I can find a font that I really like, and that looks good. We like to have it bold and clean and neat. This BBOS is one we do a lot. It's just a real clean font. It's nice and big. This Cat's Eye Medium is a little much, but it's great for announcements. So when you're thinking of lyric font, you want something that's clean, easy to read. So this one would be good too. So once I find a font, see it's a little bit bolder, it's going to be easier to read when it's on the screen. Once I find the font that I like, and I know that I don't have to readjust any of the sizes, I can just hit this apply to all, and all of a sudden they are all going to be the same font. So if I exit out of the editor, I can see that they're all the same font. So that's one way we can do it. Say I don't like that still. I can also click on my slide and select all of them. So the way I did that was I clicked on the first one and I hit Command A, and that selects all of the slides. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to hit Control and then click on the slide. That's kind of like a right click on a Mac is Control click. So I'm going to find a template I like. So if we pick Fellowship Full Screen, there's already some pre-selected templates that I know look good on the screen, and so I could just click one of those, and it should have done all of them, but it didn't. I guess when I control clicked, I didn't have them all set. But if you have them all selected and see how they're all blue, that means they're all selected. Now it should have changed them all. Yay! So that one looks good. The font might be a little too small, actually. So I might even go back, control click, template, Fellowship Full Screen, and find something a little bit bigger. That is a little bit bigger. That's nice. I like that. I'm happy with that. Let's go with that. Again, I'm going to double check my order. It probably is not any different than the way we did it last time, but just in case, you can always verify by going back to Planning Center and looking at this sequence right here. So I'm happy with that. We're going to keep Cornerstone like that and move on to King of Kings. This one looks the same, looks great. Now, Living Hope. So right here you'll see in Living Hope and King of Kings, we don't have that flow showing. But right here it says standard, so I know that it's the correct flow. If where there was nothing next to it, it would be the master arrangement, and it wouldn't have all the repeats, all the extra courses that we would need. We want to keep it in order, so all we have to do is just click over or right arrow over. So I'm going to make sure standard is selected. I can press this flow button again so it collapses back up into itself. Scrolling down, it says standard. That looks good. Sometimes what you'll see is standard. Oh, and sometimes you'll see youth. And sometimes you'll see something that says altar. A lot of times I might do a song for an altar call or a prayer song. So I'll make sure to have this slide that says during this time of worship the altars are open for prayer. But sometimes I won't do it during that time, so it will say just standard. I've obviously only done this song during altar call. Maybe, I don't know. So you'll see different ones, but usually standard is a standard, so go with that. And then I'm going to click this button to collapse it into itself just to save myself a little space. And again, this one says standard. We got a nice background. We got a nice text. I am good with that. So one thing you might have noticed is that the only the first slide has a background on it. If you really, really wanted to take the time to do it, you could put a background on every single slide. But let's take a look at this preview screen over here. If I select the very first slide, it picks the background that's on the slide, and it will keep that background as I continue clicking or arrowing over. Now, say I'm in this song and we move to a new song, but I missed these. If I click on this over here, it's going to keep the same background that I had already picked. That is totally fine. If you accidentally, miss a slide or something, know that if the background on the preview slide or the little thumbnail is black, it's going to keep the background that you had just previously had until you click a slide with a new background. So if I clicked on this too soon and went back because I went forward too fast, it's going to have that background, which is totally fine. If you're in the middle of a sermon and something happens and you click something and it has a weird background, just go up to here where this little X is and it says BKGS. That means clear background, and it'll just do a black background. So and it keeps the text on the screen. So that's kind of, a nice little go-to. All right, so that is how I put everything in order. So I'm going to do a separate slide of how to import new songs, how to do the sermons, and also how to maybe add audio and also Bible. So
that is all for this video. If you have any questions, please let me know. I hope everything made sense. And as always, thank you so much for everything you all do.